Amelia awoke as the first rays of the setting sun filtered through her bedroom curtains, casting a warm, golden glow on her face. Stretching her arms above her head, she blinked sleepily and glanced at the clock. 6:30 p.m. Another day. She whispered to herself with a sigh. From the hallway outside her room, she heard the faint sound of her parents' hushed conversation. Thomas and Margaret, her devoted and protective parents, had always been there for her. Their worry for her consumed their every thought and action. As Amelia shuffled downstairs, she found her parents waiting anxiously in the living room. Their faces lit up with a mix of relief and concern as they saw her. "Good evening, sweetheart." Margaret greeted her with a tight smile, her eyes brimming with worry. "Hi, Mom." "Hi, Dad." Amelia replied, her voice laced with both weariness and resignation. Thomas cleared his throat, his eyes lingering on Amelia as if searching for any signs of change. "Did you sleep well, dear?" Amelia shrugged, not wanting to burden them with the truth. "As well as I can, I suppose." She plopped down on the couch, the weight of her limited waking hours pressing upon her. It was a constant reminder of the life she was missing out on. Thomas sat down beside her, his hand gently resting on her shoulder. "We worry about you, Amelia. If only there was something more we could do." Amelia leaned into her father's touch, grateful for his unwavering support. "I know, Dad. But we've tried everything. I just have to make the most of the time I have." Margaret joined them, her voice tinged with sadness. "We wish you could have a normal life, my dear. It's not fair." Amelia managed a weak smile. "Life isn't always fair, Mom. I've accepted that." The room fell silent for a moment, the weight of their collective emotions hanging in the air. Then, Margaret broke the silence, her voice filled with determination. "We'll keep searching, Amelia. We won't give up. There has to be something out there, a cure or a treatment we haven't found yet." Thomas nodded in agreement, his voice firm. "We'll do everything we can, sweetheart. We'll never stop fighting for you." Amelia's eyes filled with tears as she looked at her parents, overflowing with gratitude for their love and dedication. "I love you both so much. Thank you for always being there for me." They embraced, a silent bond of strength and unwavering support shared between them. As the sun dipped lower on the horizon, casting an amber glow into the room, Amelia's heart ached for the life she could only experience in fleeting moments. Yet, deep down, she held on to hope that there might be something more waiting for her beyond the confines of her limited waking hours. The sun began its descent, casting a mesmerizing palette of colors across the horizon. Amelia stood alone by the seashore, her gaze fixed on the shimmering waves. The tranquil scene was interrupted by a sudden commotion nearby. Turning her head, she spotted a figure racing towards her, his footsteps kicking up sand in a frenzied dance. It was Jack, a charismatic and confident man, with mischief twinkling in his eyes. He skidded to a halt before Amelia, panting and gasping for breath. "Whoa, wait up!" Jack managed between breaths, a disarming smile spreading across his face. You won't believe what I just saw." Amelia's curiosity piqued, and she regarded him with a mix of intrigue and caution. "What did you see?" Jack leaned against a nearby rock, still catching his breath. "You see, I was down by the docks, minding my own business, when I saw this unbelievable sunset. The colors were so vibrant, like I've never seen before." Amelia's eyes widened, the beauty of the sunset always held a special place in her heart. "I can't imagine anything more incredible. But that's not the best part." Jack continued, a mischievous glint in his eyes. "As I was admiring the sunset, I overheard some locals talking about a woman who only wakes up for a couple of hours at sunset. Can you believe that?" Amelia froze, her heart skipping a beat. She had never encountered anyone who knew about her condition. The revelation left her simultaneously intrigued and vulnerable. You heard about me?" she stammered, her voice barely above a whisper. Jack's eyes widened as he realized the impact of his words. "Wait, you're the woman they were talking about?" Amelia nodded, her gaze fixed on the ground. She had grown accustomed to living a solitary life, not expecting anyone to understand the intricacies of her condition. Jack's expression transformed from excitement to empathy as he took a step closer. "I'm so sorry, Amelia. I didn't mean to shock you like that. I can't even fathom what you go through." Amelia's eyes met Jack's, searching for sincerity in his words. "It's okay. I've learned to accept my reality, even if it's unconventional. Jack's demeanor softened, his voice filled with compassion. You're stronger than most people I know. To face each day with such limited time, it takes incredible strength. A flicker of understanding passed between them, forging a connection built on shared vulnerability. Amelia found herself drawn to Jack's genuine empathy, a rare quality she hadn't encountered before. Jack took a step closer, extending a hand toward Amelia. I'm Jack, by the way. I may not understand what you're going through, but I'd like to be there for you, if you'll let me. Amelia hesitated for a moment, weighing the risks and rewards. But something within her yearned for companionship and the possibility of a different kind of life. With a timid smile, she reached out and shook Jack's hand. I'm Amelia. It's nice to meet someone who sees beyond my condition. As the sun continued its descent, casting a warm glow on the two souls who had unexpectedly crossed paths, they embarked on a journey together, their connection defying the limitations of time. As the days passed, Amelia and Jack's chance encounter turned into something more. They spent their evenings together, basking in the warm glow of the setting sun, exploring the town and sharing their hopes and dreams. Despite Amelia's condition, Jack's enthusiasm and energy seemed to radiate a positive energy that she found contagious. They would often sit by the seashore, listening to the lull of the waves, and Jack would tell her stories of his wild adventures and daring escapes. One evening, as they sat by the beach, Jack turned to Amelia with a serious expression. I need to tell you something, Amelia. Amelia's heart fluttered with apprehension, wondering what could be so important. What is it? I know we've only known each other for a short time, but I feel like I've known you forever. Jack said, his gaze fixed on hers. I'm falling in love with you, Amelia. Amelia's eyes widened with surprise, unsure of how to respond. She had never entertained the thought of a relationship, knowing that her condition would eventually rob her of any future she might have. Jack noticed her hesitation and took her hand, his grip firm and reassuring. I know it's complicated, but I can't help how I feel. And I don't want to let this chance pass us by. Amelia felt her heart swell with emotion. The thought of someone caring for her so deeply was both exhilarating and terrifying. Jack, I don't know what to say. Jack's expression softened, his eyes brimming with affection. You don't have to say anything. Just know that I'll be here for you, no matter what. As the sun began to dip below the horizon, they sat in a comfortable silence, the warm breeze carrying the scent of salt and sea. Amelia's mind was consumed with thoughts of Jack, and she found herself succumbing to the weight of her emotions. As the last rays of light faded, Amelia felt her eyelids droop, and she leaned her head against Jack's shoulder. I'm sorry, Jack. My time's up for today. Jack wrapped his arm around her, pulling her close. It's okay, Amelia. I'll be here tomorrow, and the next day, and every day after that. I promise. As Amelia drifted off to sleep, cradled in Jack's arms, she felt a sense of comfort and security that she had never experienced before. And in that moment, she realized that maybe, just maybe, her condition didn't have to define her life. Days turned into weeks, and Amelia and Jack's bond grew stronger with each passing sunset. They cherished every moment they had together, savoring the limited time before Amelia's sleep overtook her. One afternoon, they decided to take a stroll through the bustling streets of the town, hand in hand, their laughter mingling with the sounds of the city. Amelia's eyes sparkled with joy, and Jack couldn't help but be captivated by her spirit. They entered a quaint cafe, the aroma of freshly brewed coffee filling the air. Amelia ordered her favorite latte, while Jack opted for a strong espresso. They settled into a cozy corner booth, their hands intertwined across the table. As they sipped their drinks, engaged in lively conversation, Amelia suddenly felt a wave of exhaustion wash over her. She blinked rapidly, fighting against the sleep that threatened to engulf her. She knew her time was running out. Jack, I'm sorry. Amelia murmured, her voice tinged with frustration. I think my time is up for today. Jack's eyes widened, concern etched across his face. Already? It feels like we just got here. Amelia tried to fight off the sleep a little longer, her voice growing softer. I don't want to leave. I want to stay with you. Jack gently squeezed her hand, his voice filled with empathy. I know, Amelia. But remember, I'll be here waiting for you when you wake up. We'll make the most of every moment together. Amelia managed a weak smile, her eyelids growing heavy. Thank you, Jack. You make this easier. As Amelia drifted off to sleep, her head resting against the cool wooden booth, Jack sat there, watching her with a mix of longing and sadness. He knew this was part of their reality, but it didn't make it any less painful. As the cafe buzzed with activity around them, Jack thought about all the things he wished he could do to alleviate Amelia's burden. He yearned to find a way to stop time, to keep her awake, to steal more precious moments with her. But in that moment, he realized that what mattered most was the love they shared and the quality of the time they had together, however limited it might be. He was determined to make every second count. With a heavy sigh, Jack gently caressed Amelia's cheek, whispering to her sleeping form, "I'll be right here when you wake up, my love. We'll continue our journey, no matter how unpredictable it may be." And as Amelia slumbered, Jack vowed to cherish every waking moment, to hold on to the memory of her smile, and to be there for her through it all, even in the midst of uncertainty. Amelia's condition continued to worsen, and her waking hours grew increasingly fleeting. The once vibrant hues of the sunset now held a bittersweet tinge, reminding her of the limited time she had left. One evening, as Amelia awakened to the soft hues of the setting sun, she found Jack waiting for her at their usual meeting spot by the shore. His eyes, usually bright and full of life, were tinged with a mix of determination and sorrow. "Amelia," Jack began, his voice filled with a sense of urgency. "I've been doing some research, talking to experts, trying to find a way to help you. And I think I might have found something." Amelia's heart skipped a beat, hope flickering within her. "What is it, Jack? Is there a cure?" Jack took a deep breath, steeling himself for what he was about to say. "There's no cure, Amelia. But there's an experimental treatment, an incredibly risky procedure that might buy you more time." Amelia's eyes widened, a mix of excitement and fear coursing through her veins. "Tell me more. I'll do anything if it means I can have more moments with you." Jack reached out and gently took Amelia's hands in his. "Amelia, this treatment involves a complex series of surgeries. It's never been attempted before, and the success rate is unknown. But if we don't try, we'll never know if it could give you a chance." Amelia listened intently, her heart pounding in her chest. "What are the risks? What do we need to do?" Jack's voice trembled with emotion. "The risks are high, Amelia. There's a chance the surgeries won't be successful, or worse, they could make things worse. But if you're willing to take that chance, I'll be with you every step of the way." Amelia's resolve hardened, determination burning in her eyes. "I'm willing to take that chance, Jack. I want to fight for more time, for more moments with you." A mixture of relief and fear washed over Jack's face. "Amelia, I love you more than words can express. I'll do everything in my power to make sure you're safe and happy, even if it means sacrificing everything." They held each other tightly, a silent pact formed in that moment, a promise to face the unknown together, hand in hand. In the coming days, Amelia underwent a series of risky surgeries, her parents and Jack standing by her side every step of the way. The procedures were grueling, testing her physical and emotional limits. But Amelia's determination and the unwavering support of her loved ones carried her through. As the last surgery concluded, Amelia opened her eyes, weak but filled with a renewed sense of hope. She glanced around the hospital room, her gaze landing on Jack's tear-stained face. "I made it," she whispered, her voice barely audible. Jack knelt beside her bed, taking her fragile hand in his. "You did, Amelia. You're a fighter, and I'm so proud of you." Amelia smiled weakly, gratitude and love radiating from her eyes. "Thank you, Jack. Thank you for standing by me, for believing in me." As the sun began to set outside the hospital window, casting a warm glow into the room, Amelia knew that their love had been tested and had grown stronger. Months had passed since Amelia's risky surgeries, and while the experimental treatment had bought her some additional time, her waking hours continued to dwindle. Each sunset became a poignant reminder of the impermanence of their moments together. Amelia and Jack sat on a weathered bench overlooking the vast ocean, a gentle breeze tousling their hair. The fading sunlight painted a tapestry of colors across the sky, creating a breathtaking backdrop for their conversation. Amelia sighed softly, her voice tinged with melancholy. "Jack, I can feel it slipping away. The time I have left is becoming shorter, and the uncertainty weighs on my heart." Jack squeezed her hand, his eyes filled with tenderness. "I know, Amelia. It's not fair, and it breaks my heart to see you go through this. But let's not dwell on the inevitable. Instead, let's focus on the beauty that exists in each moment we have." Amelia leaned her head against Jack's shoulder, finding solace in his comforting presence. "You always know what to say, Jack. Your love gives me strength." Jack turned to face Amelia, his gaze unwavering. Amelia, I want to make a promise to you. No matter how much time we have left, I will dedicate myself to making each moment count. I'll do everything I can to bring you happiness, to create memories that will last. Tears welled up in Amelia's eyes, a mixture of joy and sorrow. Jack, you've already given me more happiness than I ever thought possible. You've shown me the true meaning of love, and for that, I am eternally grateful. As the last rays of sunlight danced upon the ocean's surface, Jack held Amelia tightly, their hearts beating in sync. They embraced the fragility of their existence, knowing that life's most profound moments often arise from its fleeting nature. Days turned into weeks, and Amelia's waking hours grew shorter still. The unpredictable sleep began to interrupt their conversations more frequently, stealing Amelia away in the middle of sentences, leaving Jack longing for more time. One evening, as they sat on a hill overlooking the town, Amelia's eyes fluttered closed, the weight of exhaustion overwhelming her. Jack watched her, his heart heavy with both love and sorrow. "I love you, Amelia," he whispered, his voice carried away by the gentle breeze. "Even in these stolen moments, your presence fills my life with light." Amelia's eyes opened for a brief moment, a faint smile gracing her lips. "I love you too, Jack. Thank you for making my days brighter, even in the face of darkness." As the last vestiges of daylight faded, Jack held Amelia in his arms, knowing that their time together in this world was drawing to an end. They found solace in the fact that their love would endure beyond the boundaries of time, transcending the limitations of their mortal existence. In the quiet embrace of the night, they held on to each other, cherishing the beauty of the present, and finding peace in the knowledge that their love would forever remain etched in the tapestry of their lives. And as the stars illuminated the sky, a silent promise lingered between them, to live fully, to love fiercely, and to embrace the fragile beauty of the moments they were granted, for as long as they could, until the final sunset bid farewell to Amelia's waking world. Amelia's waking moments grew fewer and farther between, her body succumbing to the relentless grip of her condition. Yet, in the face of her diminishing time, her spirit burned brighter than ever, her love for Jack igniting a flame that defied the boundaries of her fragile existence. One evening, as the sun began its descent, Amelia found herself awake for what would likely be one of her last sunsets. She knew deep in her heart that her time was drawing near, and a mix of acceptance and sadness washed over her. Jack stood by her side, his eyes filled with a mixture of love and anguish. He held her hand gently, his touch grounding her amidst the weight of their reality. They stood together on a hilltop, overlooking a vibrant canvas of colors painted across the sky. Amelia's voice was barely a whisper as she spoke, her words carrying the weight of a lifetime's worth of emotions. "Jack, my love, I can feel the last vestiges of my waking hours slipping away. But before the sunset claims me forever, I want to thank you." Jack's voice trembled with emotion as he responded, his words steady with conviction. "Amelia, you don't have to thank me. Being with you, loving you, has been the greatest gift of my life. You've taught me to appreciate every moment, to cherish the beauty that exists even in the face of adversity." Tears glistened in Amelia's eyes as she gazed at Jack, her voice filled with gratitude. "You've given me a lifetime's worth of love in the short time we've had together. You've shown me that every second is worth fighting for, worth treasuring. I am so grateful to have experienced this love with you." Jack pulled Amelia into a tender embrace, their bodies intertwined as they watched the sun sink below the horizon. "Amelia, my love, you've taught me what it truly means to live. Your strength, resilience, and unwavering spirit have forever changed me. And even as the darkness takes you away, your light will continue to shine within me." As the last rays of sunlight disappeared, Amelia's body grew limp in Jack's arms. She had slipped away into her eternal slumber, leaving behind a world forever touched by her presence. Jack held her lifeless form, his heart heavy with grief and gratitude. He whispered into the stillness of the night, his voice filled with an unwavering devotion. "Thank you, Amelia, for the love that transcends time. Though our paths have diverged, I will carry your spirit within me, forever grateful for the moments we shared." In the days that followed, Jack navigated the world without Amelia by his side. Each sunset served as a poignant reminder of their love and the fleeting nature of existence. Yet, he carried their memories in his heart, finding solace in the knowledge that their love had forever changed him. For in the depths of his sorrow, Jack discovered that even in the face of loss, love endured, forever immortalized in the eternal sunset of their hearts.